I want all of you guys to play Soul Bad Guy, okay? And throw your opponent until they start crying. And when they cry, you wipe their tears, and then you vortex them afterwards. Panda's Fighting Game Channel has new uploads every other day. We also do sick collabs, and we do a lot of cool stuff. Panda's Fighting Game features legends like Justin Wong and, I guess, Jiyuna. Check out Panda's Fighting Game Channel. The link is in the description below. More Strive negativity? I think what we're going to talk about today is actually not negative. Like, no negative whatsoever. I think, actually, it's something that I've been saying for the past 3 months that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's negative whatsoever. The problem is like, the things that I do now in terms of decision making, I don't think it works in these like newer games because damage is so high. So risk reward is kind of like it's like both decisions that I make, I'm basically going to take the same damage. Yeah, so like in terms of decision making, for example, like sometimes like I'm like, okay, clearly this character offense is obnoxious, it's overwhelming. It's best not to do anything until this person starts showing the cards of what they want to do. But because it's so heavily on strike throw, it's very easy to be wrong on your calculated read. If you get thrown 6 times in a row, any human being is going to be like, well, clearly he's going to keep throwing me. But then if they all of a sudden just like, well, I'm just going to swing here. It wasn't really like a bait his throw. It was like the only option he had was to fight back. In this situation, it seems like everything has to be a call out now rather than a passive decision. If they have meter, there's only 3 options you can rotate. Well, if they have meter, there's only 2 options you can rotate. If they don't have meter, there's 3 options you can rotate. But the problem is meter is built so easily in this game that 9 times out of 10, you're going to only have 2 options. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like when you make situations more of a gamble, it involves more of like luck. And for any situation to be like evened out, like the luck has to be the same, right? Technically, right? But the problem is defense don't get as rewarded as much, even though it's like 50-50. One reward is higher than the other by like margin, you know? When you look at it from that standpoint, it's like, oh, okay, this person got a throw off. Okay, he finally got a throw. And then because he got that throw, it's so rewarding because if you get a back throw, it's like, oh, well, now they're in the corner and you doing the same thing what they're doing, depending on the character you play. If a character is like frame trapping you and they're like -2, are you really afraid? Versus a character who is +3 in your face? You understand? You see the difference of that? So like that difference alone already changes a lot. Tempo on offense. Just alone, that changes a lot. That's why like the risk reward is so like messed up and so janky because everyone does the same thing, but other characters have more quality or more opportunities. But everybody's doing the same thing now. And that's been like a flaw that every developer has just been doing. But the problem is people are wording it so bad that when you actually word it correctly, people just read one sentence of what you said and then they just summarize everything that they feel that you said. Let's look at this tweet, for example. This is a very good tweet, for example, right? She gave a great example. She said, I don't think I've ever played a game with as weak as defensive strive. Now that I think about it, anyone blocking in this game is just a normal person and it causes me pain. I don't agree with this statement right here because if it caused you pain, you wouldn't be playing this character, okay? You would be one of the louse mains, all right? So clearly, this is a lie. This whole thing. But this is a good example of what I'm talking about. Notice that I completely ignore everything this person says. And this is what people do nowadays. Notice I shut down everything this person said. And I legitly only tunnel vision this one sequence right here. And then that's how people do. And then they will take whatever they just want to read and they just highlight it and that's all they read. So this person agrees. Now imagine playing a character who has weak neutral and has fastest button in 6 frames. Yeah. I don't know if okay, look, I know Anji is a bit of a struggle, but I think Anji neutral is actually pretty okay. But when you compare it to Ram and everybody else, it definitely needs help. And then somebody says, so did you just miss Street Fighter 5 for 5 years or what? See, I don't get this. I don't get this. What does it have to do with Street Fighter 5? Did Street Fighter 5 get mentioned at all here? Oh, that's right. And I was just talking about people tunnel vision. Damn, bro. The government was lying to us this whole time. It was in our naked eyes this whole time, bro. I think this take is only half right. There are very strong defensive mechanics in this game. Right now, they're just too hard to consistently use for most people. Great example, if you could constantly IB May, Dolphin, she would become trash. So, this person was actually saying some decent things. And then, after that, it just fell off the building. I was like, whoa. I agree with this person right here. I said, I think, in Strive, if the defensive options were a little bit more, more accessible for everyone, even though Daisuke clearly said, or Akira definitely said, we want this game to be accessible for newer players. I think allowing defensive mechanics in the game will actually be okay, right? I think making it accessible would be okay. It's not accessible for everything, for every situation that you need it for. I think the defensive mechanics in this game is godlike. It's just, if you can do it all the time, 2 frames is not enough. It's definitely going to take a couple of versions. I know. Problem is exactly what you said, Majin. It's clearly that there's a lot of things they add on, but it's as you said, Majin. It's a lot of things that they didn't process to a lot of the stuff that they had in mind, and kind of made it all over the place. The options are there. It's impossible to do, bro. The fact that you could stop a ram to just randomly doing close slash all day, if you faultless just defend with the accessibility it comes. I mean, people keep saying it'd be too broken, but people act like FD is free and it doesn't cost meter. You are sacrificing of using Roman cancel. How is that too strong? That's the problem that a lot of people, you can't talk to these people about because they only see it in their way, not on the whole package. Yeah, FD costs a lot of meter. Yeah. So somebody using faultless just defend, it's not a big issue. It's okay, this person's doing it. Okay, I just need to I gotta use these moves that don't push me as far back if I use a higher attack level. Boom. You made a defensive option have many variables now. That's all you did. Now offense don't look the same anymore. Because of that one change, you just made it more expandable. And you know what else makes it interesting too? Is because FD adding 2 frames of a block stun. Now your throw that was -2 is now 0 on block. Hey, I guess we got unique stagger pressures now, or whatever their idea was, right? It's just boom. Garuda needs to be taken out of the game. I've told people that, you know how easy it is to solve Garuda. I promise you, the easiest way to solve Garuda is not let it be cancelable off normals. There you go. It won't be as crazy because now you only have to deal with it if he do hammer fall break, or if you get hit by a random throw or something like that. But the fact that he can OTG you into it is actually him. And it gets more plus. Most 2Ks can punish Garuda unless it's meaty. I want you to go to training mode and I want you to actually do close slash Garuda. And I want you to press 2K and you come back to me and tell me how much damage you lost. And also, by the way, while you out there too, I want you to make a clip of, can you actually instant kill somebody off this situation? I want you to get Noah with you to help you out on this. Whatever spears you need, bro. Come back to me when that happens, all right? Yeah, if I see that chat, I'm shooting too. That statement is illegal. That's what I'm saying. I think the wording, the biggest issue right now is the wording, right? I think a lot of things that are actually what's in the game now is actually pretty good. I just think it's just not fleshed out. And there's a couple of reasons why. And I've named one of the biggest reasons is I think this game was rushed. For example, when I was yo, jumping is too strong, what are we going to do about that? Oh, we noticed that jumping is strong, so we're going to add landing recovery on everything you do. So not only that there's not even defensive options, you can't escape. And it's just damn. I think one thing they took away in the game is kind of missing. What is that? Is a parry mechanic like slash back blitz. You know, I think just defend is actually supposed to be the parry in this game. Believe it or not, Majin. I truly believe that they want IB to actually be like parry. The sweet spot is either probably 3 or 4 frames, but they also need to leverage that the cancel window for moves probably going to take them 2 or 3 runs to figure out, yes, Yes, two or three versions. The problem is right now is the game is going to last for those versions. And that's the issue that I brought up 4 months ago. I said, is people going to be willing enough to wait for these versions? Because I've said it and I said it again. This game is so incomplete. It is a very incomplete package in terms of the idea of Strive. It's incomplete. Also, some characters is balanced around it too, which is weird. Like May has punishable on block S Dolphins, but you would need to IB, which yeah. But then the thing is about it is like people keep saying like if they make it where it's IB is easable to do, that means S Dolphin will be bad. And people are just assuming that S Dolphin is just reactable all over the screen. How many startups is Dolphin? What is it, like 12? 7. A whole ass 7 frames. You're going to tell me that you're going to react to a 7 frame move every time. And then on top of that too, it won't even make it as bad. You know why? Because not everybody in this game has 5 frame normals. So yeah, if Zato just defended, what's going to happen? If he's not in range and throw, he's done. So I don't understand why people keep saying like, yo, if you make Just Defend easier to do, it's going to make these characters bad. And I'm like, how is it going to make those characters bad? But these developers are just like, well, you know, we're just going to let this wild out for a bit. And then we're going to take notes. We're going to add on. And then as they're adding on, these individuals on the internet are like, they made it this way because it makes sense. And I'm like, why did it make sense? It's because, you know, like I understand what the direction they're trying to go to. And like, I understand this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you say that and then they make a change completely of what you're talking about. And now you look like an idiot. I'm going to give this game 1 year, bro. Because I actually believe that whenever they find the code to make this game super godlike, I can laugh with Majin Obama and drink the lemon tea that he has. And be like, you remember back when Strive came out? And then after like we have like our like moment where we're just like talking and we'd be like, yo, you want to pop in some Nickelodeon, bro? You want to see my Squilliam? And he go be like, yo, man, my Pat guard kind of god tier. And then that's the ending of the show, of the movie. Battling out in the Nickelodeon's All-Star game.